Spurs 2, Brighton 2. Was it a great performance? Well, I think that was the best we've actually played under Thomas Frank. I thought we dominated the ball. I thought we were better in the tackle. I thought we were better in both boxes. And you know what? I think we can consider ourselves quite unlucky to come away from that game with the 2-2. Now, it's different, isn't it? When you're 2-0 down and you come back to get the point, you have to go, whew, huge sigh of relief. However, I do think we were the much better football team today. I do think we were the much better football team. More possession, more shots. We worked their keeper. And it just wasn't to be. Let's go through it. The team lineup, a lot of people upset that Simmons wasn't involved. And I guess we'll probably find out from Thomas Frank why that was. But we did get to see him later, and we'll come back to that shortly. But I actually thought we started the game really strong. I do. I thought we started the game really strongly. It was all Spurs. We were keeping the ball in midfield. We were pressing. We were getting in down the left-hand side with Destiny Udogie. We were getting in down the right-hand side with Mohamed Kudus, who was excellent, by the way. We'll come to that later. And you felt like this could be a good day for Spurs. Then the sucker punch. Odegaard tried to drift in and beat his man and monumentally failed. The defender stepped across him, candy from a baby, played the ball through the channel, and there was Minte to round the goalkeeper and score. And it was far too easy. Poor from Odegaard, poor at the back, and it was 1-0. And then you're thinking to yourself, aren't you? You're thinking to yourself, what have Spurs got? What have Spurs got? Well, it was then a bit sloppy, wasn't it? We still had more of the ball. We were prodding, we were probing, and I actually thought we were good until that last third. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. I don't expect Spurs to be amazing in that final third, when there's no playmaker on the pitch, Odegaard's out wide and Richie's up top. They're not those type of players. But what we did see was we huffed and we puffed. Odegaard screwed us a volley wide. Richarlison put the ball out wide, didn't he, for himself? Took the angle too far and hit the side netting. But there were signs. There were glimmers of hope. There were signs that Tottenham was starting to come back into the game and we were going to get the equalizer. But it wasn't to be. Because late on in that first half, Bhafc, I know he's young and everyone's going to, with a really poor clearance from the right back area, 5-yard clearance into the path of the Brighton player whose shot was good, but Vicario made all sorts of mistakes. And again, Bhafc's got to take the blame for the clearance, but Vicario equally takes the blame for soft goalkeeping, I would say. I'm always told he's a great shot stopper. Well, this went straight through him. This, for me, has to go down as a really poor goalkeeping error. But 2-0. Fans were going mad. I said I thought we were playing well. Didn't deserve to be 2-0 down, but we were. Fans losing their mind. Thomas Frank being schooled, which I didn't think he was. I thought Brighton scored from 2 Spurs mistakes. But Thomas Frank being schooled, apparently. Anyway, Spurs then put their foot on the pedal a bit, didn't we? Started to prod, started to probe again. And right at the end of the first half, the ball by Bentancur out to Odegaard. Odegaard plays the ball across the box. It finds its way to Kudus, whose shot hits Richarlison, and then he swivels and scores 2-1 going into the break. And let's be fair, yes, well done for being in the right place at the right time, Richie. But it was the least he could have done because I thought he was dreadful again today. But Richie did make it 2-1. And as a striker, you've scored. You've done your job. I'll let you lot debate that. We go into halftime 2-1. People start asking the question, what subs are going to be made? How are we going to react? Lots of people calling for Bhafc to be subbed, including me. We didn't make any subs. But what we did do, we came out that second half and we were exceptional. All of the game was us. Look, let me show you here. All of the game was us. If I have a look at the second half stats, 69% possession for Spurs in that second half. We were all over them. Romero and Van de Ven bringing the ball out, constantly getting the ball out wide to Kudus. Constantly Kudus taking them on, getting balls into the box. But we just couldn't get that goal. Then Tottenham made the substitution. Bentancur went off and Xavi Simons came on. Now, there were lots of people at the time. Frank, what are you doing? Frank, that's a terrible sub. But it worked. Credit where credit is due, people. The sub worked. Bergvall dropped deeper into a more traditional number 8. Simons pushed on into the number 10. And everything went through Xavi Simons. And he was superb. Yes, he dragged a shot wide. Yes, one volley wide. But I thought he was absolutely brilliant. He was picking up the ball, dinking inside, dropping his shoulder, weaving past players, spreading good passes out. And that's exactly how the well-deserved equalizer happened. Xavi Simons dribbled through the middle of the pitch, drifted across to the right, sprayed an excellent ball out to Kudus, took a touch, dinked inside, whipped across in. Paulinho flicks the header on and it hits Bhafc. Unluckily for him, luckily for us, it hits Bhafc, flies into the back of the net, and it's Desmond. It's 2-2. And you're sitting there thinking, yeah, we thoroughly deserve this. And we do. You know me, guys. I will critique when it's due and I will praise when it's due. And for me, that was a good performance, but with 2 mistakes. Now, after the goal went in, it kind of woke up Brighton, didn't it, a bit? And they started to get a bit more of the ball and we were defended well. And then in the end, it kind of fizzled out as a game. But you know what? I enjoyed the game. It was a good game. I thought we played well. I thought we got the ball down well with some really good passages of play, some good passing throughout the middle. But it was that final third. And until Xavi Simons came on, it just wasn't working with Bergvall in that 10. But as I said, when Bergvall dropped into that 8 and Simons went into the 10, we looked a lot better. Now, if I'm going to do my player ratings, I would say Vicario, I'll give him a 5. I think he made a meal of a shot in the first half that hit him and he just lost the flight of the ball as he does. And then the goal, I'm going to give him a 4 or a 5. I thought Porro and Udogie, both 7s, solid games, getting down the line. More so Udogie today. I thought he did well. In the first half, a lot of underlapping. In the second half, a lot of overlapping. And I thought he did well. Got to get a better final pass, though, Udogie. Still young, still developing, I get it. But he's got to get that final pass across. And he's been struggling with that. I thought Romero and Van de Ven did really well today. Both of them, for me, solid 7.5, 8s for me. Thought they did well. Romero, just the one criticism I give him is just sometimes just a bit too slow on the ball. But I thought he defended excellently. I thought Romero was the same. So for me, I think the back 4 and all did really well. I don't blame the back 4 really for the second goal. And the first goal, I think, was a mistake where we were caught out. I thought Bentancur did okay. For me, a 6.5, a 7. Nothing amazing. Did all right. Tried to keep the game flowing. Paulinho, I thought, was excellent. I'd give him an 8. I thought Paulinho was excellent. Winning tackles. Doing the dirty work. Doing the unseen work. Winning the ball, giving it. And he loves a slide tackle, that lad, doesn't he? So I thought Paulinho did well. Bergvall, first half, I'd give him a 4. I thought he was dreadful. Second half, I'd give him a 6. I thought he improved as he dropped down into the 8. It will take time. Again, as I said, this is why from one week to the next, I don't go, he's amazing, he's rubbish. He's amazing. He's good. He's young. He'll learn. He'll grow. He'll develop. Not his best game, but I thought he did grow into the game when Simons came on. Kudus, I thought was excellent. I'm going to give him an 8.5. I thought he was excellent. the number of corners he wins. He was involved in both goals in the game. His shot that created the first goal, his cross that created the second. He beat his man for fun. He won corners. He got crosses into the box. Again, he can do more. He can get more assists. He can do more, but I thought he was excellent today. And he is levels above those other forward players, isn't he? When you looked at Odegaard and Richarlison, he was levels. Richie, I'm going to give a 6. I know he scored. For me, that shouldn't mask how bad he was. Right place, right time for the goal. But as a player, I've struggled for about a decade to get on board with this guy, and I'm still struggling. I'd give him a 5 or a 6 because he got the goal. Would have been a 5. Odegaard, I thought he huffed and puffed. He tries hard. He works hard. Didn't do anything wrong. Didn't do anything great. Fluffed his lines with a few crosses into the box and the shot. I'd give him a 5.5, 6 for me. But Xavi Simons is the one I'd give a 9. He came on and he changed the game. He was the difference maker. And moving forward, we need to, I'll say this, Thomas Frank, we need to see him in the 10. And I think we will now. I think we will. More minutes in his legs, more fitness. And I think that he was the difference maker. So all in all, did we want 3 points? You always want 3 points. But a point away to Brighton isn't the worst result. And I said before the game, my heart says 3-1 Spurs. My head says 2-2. And unfortunately, my head ruled the heart on this occasion, and it was 2-2. But you know what? I thought that was a much better display than a lot of games we've seen this season. I thought it was a much better display. Can we get better? Yes. Can we take a lot from that game? Yes. Is there still a lot of work to work on? Yes. We're 5 Premier League games in. But after 5 Premier League games, Tottenham Hotspur have only lost 1. We've lost 1 game. And as it stands right now, we're second in the table. We're the second highest scorers in the league behind Liverpool. And we've conceded 3 goals. If I had offered you that at the beginning of the season, we would have taken it. So, all in all, I'll round off by saying I'm not disappointed. I'm disappointed with moments. I'm disappointed with mistakes. But I thought we played well today. I thought that was so different to the way we played against Villarreal. And we went to a team like Brighton who like to dominate the ball, and we dominated the ball. So for me, some really good positives to take from that game. Some really good positives. But more importantly, a lot of learning points. And I know that fans don't like this. But you've got to have learning points from games. So for me, 2-2, we take it. We move on to Doncaster. And you know what? I don't think that was a bad performance. Bad moments, but not a bad performance at all. So fair play to the lads for coming back from 2-0 down, getting the 2 goals back. We need to learn from those mistakes. We need to get Xavi Simons into the 10. But for me, a very good Spurs performance that realistically we should have won the game. Bigger tests to come, better tests to come. But you know what? Fair play to the boys. They've put in a shift after the Champions League. We've not lost now in 3 games we've not lost. We can't ask for much more. So for me, I think that Spurs have had a great day at the